r/AskReddit. Girls of Reddit, what is the best way a guy you don't know can start a conversation without being creepy or annoying? A guy at a bus stop asked me what my favorite snack was. We talked about popcorn for 10 minutes before the bus got there. By the time we boarded the bus, I was really wanting some popcorn and he asked me if I wanted to go see a movie and get some popcorn. Of course I did. That guy was a genius. Girls like snacks. Edit. Since a few people are curious, we dated for 5 months. He was a great man, but we had different goals. I'm sure he's still hanging out in Austin. You can probably run into him at NES First Bar. How did he even establish a 10-minute convo about popcorn? He was a pro. Also, your username checks out here. I believe I once told a girl it looks busy in here as she rung me up for food. She giggled and said thank you, then turned into mush. I'd like to know what I said in her head. Whatever it was great. Hey, did you know that Pac-Man's original name was Puck-Man? It's based on Paku Paku, the Japanese term for chewing. But when the game went to America they got worried people would change the "P" to an "F". So that's Pac-Man now. You like jazz? Gum's gotten mintier lately. I like your shirt. I don't get the reference, but it looks cool. Boom opens dialogue and her interest in what she's interested in. One thing I've noticed is that a lot of guys don't think it's creepy to ask where I live if I'm on/waiting for public transport. If you've just met me and open with that, there's no way I'm telling you any more locally than in the town/city we are already in. I've asked guy friends about it though, and they all seemed genuinely surprised that I thought it was creepy. Have gotten off buses early before because of this, because I felt uncomfortable with a stranger knowing where I live. Don't get me wrong, if we've been chatting, and it's likely we chat again then it's okay to ask, but not in the first 2 minutes. Edit. For clarification, I understand that a specific address isn't being asked for, but if I'm on a bus you can guess it's somewhere along that route, or if it's at a stop, which in my experience is more likely, you've got an even better idea to start with, that I live close by. If you're immediately following up with, because I know about this which is local and interesting, that's probably fine and not creepy. Sorry to anyone whose favorite pickup line has been insulted/s. Don't automatically hit on me or just assert yourself. Bringing common interests or ask me a simple question like "Oh, is that a Manchester Orchestra shirt?" or something like that. I'm super friendly and will talk to most people as long as I don't feel threatened or uncomfortable. If I have my headphones in or I'm reading a book, please don't start a lengthy conversation with me. Is that a Manchester Orchestra shirt? I once said to a girl, hey, we are in the same math class, right? And now we are married. Always take math, guys. Always, that's the key. Edit. Based on the responses I've received, math is the way to go. Seems a lot of people out there have meet there, so due to a math class. And for those asking, yes, I did actually have math class with her. No, I did not ask her this. While in said math class, rolls eyes. Thanks for the laughs and stories, guys. One very important thing to keep in mind. Approaching with no perception of any common interests will make it difficult to have a genuine conversation that doesn't feel forced. For example, don't just approach someone random because you think they are pretty, only to have this be your only point of attraction. Many girls will write off guys who do this because their intentions are clearly superficial from the get-go. Sure, he was interested in starting a conversation, but his initial attention wasn't drawn by anything substantial. Instead, try to observe a possible common interest to start your conversation with. This could be anything from a band t-shirt from a band you like, to something you overheard her say earlier that shows you have something in common you can talk about. If you want to increase your chances of success with this, try meeting people at places where common interests congregate. For example, people who go to art exhibitions generally have an eye for art. People who go to comic conventions are generally nerdy. People who go to video game tournaments are generally gamers. People who go to sporting events are generally sport fans. This automatically gives you something to talk about, or a small base on which to build a more stable conversation. If you want to further avoid being creepy or annoying, don't go into it with a flirting mindset. Girls know that guys who flirt with them before even knowing who they are tend to be shallow men with superficial motivations. Get to know someone based on conversation first. If that conversation goes really well, and you feel like you're hitting it off, and you've guessed that they're single, playfulness and mild flirting isn't out of the question. Tips for the nervous and socially awkward. Don't push yourself to get to know people who aren't reciprocating your conversational attempts, or who seem disinterested. It's usually not a reflection on you, it's a reflection of you both. The other person may just not be interested at the time, or may not share your enthusiasm for the topic at hand. That's okay. A simple "it's been nice chatting with you, see you around" will suffice. Don't force yourself to be interested in a person for the sake of conversation. Try expressing your interest in something within the environment, and then bring the person into that conversation. Examples: art at a museum, cheer stunts at a sport event, video game demos at a convention, pool game at the bar. There's always something in the environment that they may already be engaged with. This is a good chance to talk to someone. It puts a lot less pressure on a stranger when they feel like your mutual interest in something else is a reason to continue the conversation, not your interest in them. This also takes pressure off of you, because you can direct get to know you questions at them, or you can talk about the thing in front of you both. If you get rejected, or have a disinterested reaction at any point, remember that this is a reflection of your compatibility with that person, not all people. Edit. Thanks to everyone for the massive support and appreciation on this comment. Dyadic relations is my field and I've helped a lot of people with this eye roll. I'm more than happy to share this advice with Reddit. Thanks to whoever gave me Reddit Silver. You're a true gem 3. Keep an eye open for signs of wanting to be left alone, like wearing headphones or reading a book. Edit. Okay, so 7k upvotes and an inbox telling me I'm trash and wrong. Okay, Reddit. Guy here that learned a hard lesson. It's not about how to approach girls. Learn how to approach people. The easiest way is to compliment every time something catches your eye. To everybody. Not something they were born with or generic. Things like "I love the pattern on that shirt," or "Hey, that necklace is super cool." I've even complimented Macup. The next step is to read their response. Did they ignore you? Or just give a simple thanks and move on? Move on. They took the compliment, but aren't interested in conversation. Did they get mad? Keep practicing. You picked something they weren't intentionally trying to show you. Did they brighten up and start talking? Carry on. Friend, you nailed it. The idea is simple. They picked the thing you complimented because they thought it looked good. Complimenting that is validating their taste and nothing more, which if done casually is really hard to be creepy or annoying. And as an added bonus, it's assumed you are saying they look good in it. So it's 2 compliments in one with almost no risk of doing it wrong. Learned this one from Uncle Aaron. First, you lay your hand on her shoulder. Then you give her the look. Finally, you top it off with a "hey." It won't come off as creepy if you start with something that seems like a genuine interest. I go to bookstores a lot and a guy once chatted to me about how much he liked Murakami since I was looking at some of those titles. This could be something like a band shirt or a video game they're looking at playing. Basically it's like you see us as a person with interests and feelings, rather than someone you're just trying to bang. Not only does it make you seem like you're actually interested, but you'll most likely find a girl you actually have something in common with, rather than just a random human you find physically attractive. Drop a Magnum condom on the ground to demonstrate that you have a monster dong. Give a genuine compliment on something small you've noticed, an accessory, personality trait or her laugh, or try to notice something she's noticing or looking at and comment on it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe.